Hello, everyone. This case was originally for change management. However, I found it to be perfect for this assignment. This case study is based on a true story between a 94-year-old toy company called Lakeland Wonders and a newly appointed hyper-enthusiastic CEO by the name of Cheryl Hellstorm. 94-year-old Lakeland Wonder is a toy manufacturing company with its own culture, in addition to the traditional Midwestern mindset of Minnesota. The company traditionally hires from within. For example, it took the head of manufacturing 14 years to get from the shop floor to the management. All of the 5,000 employees in the company are unionized. In addition, one of their main selling points is crafted in the United States, and that slogan is even on the side of their delivery trucks. Swanson, the last CEO from the family that started the toy company, retired and decided to hire Cheryl. Cheryl now is the new CEO, and she comes from the other side of the aisle. She used to work as a buyer from an upscale Chicago toy vendor. Lakeland Wonders was one of her main go-to for private label products. In other words, she knows the team at Lakeland well, but from the other side of the aisle. Furthermore, Cheryl was extremely successful in ordering those custom private label toys, and even until now, it is one of the best sellers that Lakeland manufactures. Cheryl was able to secure a contract, but she didn't sign it yet, with a retailer by the name of Bullseye for middle market toys. For her to be able to achieve this in time for Christmas shopping season, she is willing to take the company's production overseas, or at least via outsourcing. So the conflict arose between her and her team when she wants change and she wants it now without consulting anybody. Another main issue is this company is extremely proud to be a company that says their product is made in the United States. Now she wants to shake that foundation and, of course, their customers' loyalty by making a new product that is made in China. And by that, she is ignoring the company values and culture. She also ignored the interior design team for the new toys, and she decided to hire an outside team. Although before, when she was the buyer in this story, she used to respect that interior design team and she knows their capabilities and they were able to deliver in time. She took those decisions without consulting any of her team whatsoever. Also, she didn't even ask the union, do we have the capacity as in employees to be able to produce those new toys for the mid-market or not? Although research shows at that point in time that if she would have asked, she could have got a third shift that will do this. Also, trust issues with her team. During the conversation, the case study between her and her teammates, she was extremely angry and mad that her teams were collaborating on ideas, according to her, behind her back. When she finally met her team, trying to deduce her ideas, she started by trying to build a coalition for her support. So she started with the person that did the market research, Laurel, that's her name, and she made her introduce the whole idea that if they make mid-range toys, they will make such money and such money, and this is the only room for growth. So the data was correct, and it is backed with real information with market research. However, even her guiding coalition, or the person that she chose to lead with during that presentation, the one that did the research, turned on her in a heartbeat when it came to the made in the USA versus made in China and losing credibility with the customers and so forth. Yet Cheryl is extremely frustrated with the whole thing. And of course, all the other teammates were going against her and against her ideas time wise. value-wise, company culture, union, all the above. And when she found out that they are talking behind her back, or so she thinks, with just teammates, she got extremely angry and she went to the previous CEO to talk to him about that problem. And he basically told her to chill out and relax and slow down, despite that he hired her for that mid-market situation. But I guess he did not have the authority anymore to advise her except to chill out. When we look at the current case and then compare this to Keeler's approach and Nash's, we find out that I think none of them will work. However, a combination of both of them will work in such a scenario. So what would I do if I was hired by Lakeland Wonders as a consultant to fix all this mess within the team? First of all, we have to recognize that there's a problem, and it is clear that Cheryl wants everything now as fast as possible. How did this situation occur in the first place? All the miscommunication and mistrust and her speed and ignoring the company culture made this problem happen. We need to look for the actors or the stakeholders in this case. I think she should sit down with the union and all her management team and even the ex-CEO that retired, and of course the other stakeholder, which is Bullseye, the new buyer for the mid-market toys. Cheryl needs to gather the relevant facts. She needs to know what's her manufacturing capabilities before thinking about outsourcing them to overseas. She needs to understand the company culture. She needs to understand that there is a union. She needs to understand that everybody comes in from within. She needs to test right versus wrong. For example, here, she needs to see if her internal design team can accomplish what she wants before she hires an outside team. So basically, if they could not do what she wants internally, then she will go for an outside team. Same thing with the manufacturing. She needs to sit down with the union and see can they manufacture this here in the current factory on a third shift, for instance, or not. And yes, they were able to do so. And of course, in regard to the values, the company is proud that is making its products in the United States. This is one of their main selling points with the Midwestern mindset, values, and so forth. Now, the idea of going to China or the Philippines or Thailand, as the case study might say, is completely the wrong values here. As for the ethical values, in addition to the made in the United States thing, she cannot think of buying the unions. It is wrong to think that by money they will shut up, for instance. So this is unethical. She needs to sit down with the union and discuss all issues. Then, looking for a third way. If all things fail, then she can go ahead and think of her outsourcing to China or whatsoever. After all these steps, now she can make the right decision. And even after making the right decision, she can always revise it and revisit it and reflect on the decision that she made. There's nothing wrong with going back on a decision if it was wrong. Thank you for listening. A copy of the case study will be attached with the assignment. Thank you.